I am so excited for this month's Tuesday Talk to introduce my friend, Danielle McClellan, as our presenter today. Danielle has been a registered dietitian for 14 years. She graduated from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette with a Bachelor of Science in Dietetics. She has a master's in nutrition from Texas Women's University, and she's worked at MD Anderson, DaVita Dialysis, and Children's Memorial Hermann in the clinical setting, but her passion has always been in weight management. Danielle started her own business journey about 8 years ago while raising her 3 beautiful children. So without further ado, Danielle, help us out this holiday season so we can have our pie and eat it too.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. I am so excited to be here. Yeah, my passion is truly helping people reach their fitness goals. Usually most people, what I specialize in is weight loss. I do help individuals who just want to maintain their weight and eat healthy, which is not just, that's a great goal as well. And I also do work with some clients who want to gain weight if they want to put on muscle. But my specialty is weight loss. So I'm going to start off just by talking a little bit about counting macros and what are macros. So many people have not really heard about macros. What is a macro? So let's get into it. So macronutrients or macros are simply so the objectives of this are to learn about what are macronutrients or macros. We're going to learn about common nutrition myths. That's going to be a really fun slide. And then we're also going to learn how to navigate holiday time when you have a fitness goal. So, the holidays are coming up. So this is a really important time to just kind of learn what we should be doing right now. So let's get into it. A calorie, I have something in the way here. A calorie is a unit of energy. So in nutrition, we refer to those calories as either those that we eat from food or drink, or calories that we burn through exercise. We aim to meet a certain calorie goal each day to meet our fitness goal of weight loss, weight maintenance, or weight gain. If we want to lose weight, we need to be in a calorie deficit. This means that we are burning more calories than we eat. If we want to maintain our weight, we need to eat as many calories as we burn on a daily basis. And then weight gain is from a calorie surplus, which means that we are eating more calories than we burn. So macronutrients or macros are simply carbohydrates, protein, and fat. These are what make up our calories. Carbohydrates are our primary source of energy for our body, for our brain. This is why when people tell me they go on low carb diets, I immediately know that it's not going to be sustainable because carbohydrates are what our body needs as the primary source of fuel. People that go on low carb diets typically have very little energy for this reason. So as we are all aware, I'm sure carbs are found in things like breads, pastas, rice, fruits and vegetables, dairy products have carbohydrates as well. 1 gram of carbohydrate has 4 calories. Protein is the building block for muscle, bone, hair, and skin. Protein has so many functions in our body, helps to build muscle. So when we're losing weight, it is really important to prioritize protein so that while we're losing fat, we are maintaining and even building muscle. 1 gram of protein also has 4 calories. And lastly, fat. Fat promotes healthy skin and hair, insulates our body organs against shock, maintains body temperature, and so on. Fat promotes satiety or the feeling of being full. So protein also has this really nice function of, when we eat it, we feel full, we feel satisfied. 1 gram of fat provides 9 calories. So as you can see, fat is more calorie dense than carbs and protein. All 3 of these are super important. The goal is always to have the right ratio of these 3, really no matter what your fitness goal is. So as you can see, the gram of carb is 4 calories, protein is also 4 calories, fat is 9 calories. So this is how our macros make up our total calorie goal for the day. When we get the right amounts of carbs, protein, and fat, we know that we're also meeting the calorie goal that'll get us to our fitness goal of weight loss. So this is why we count macros. If you want to lose weight, you can just count calories because it's calories in, calories out, right? You're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. However, an individual who is just counting calories is going to look a lot different from an individual who's actually getting the right ratios of carbs, protein, and fat. Counting macros leads to the changes in the body composition. You know, when people come to me and they say, I want to lose weight, I want to get toned. Getting toned means we're building muscle. To build muscle, you have to eat protein, ideally about 25% as a minimum, but about 30% of your calories should come from protein if your goal is to build muscle. And then lastly, focusing on food quality affects how we feel. So, you know, we want to count the calories. We want to make sure we're getting in the right ratios and macros, but we also want to make sure that we're eating the right foods, you know, and examples of these are like lean protein sources, whole grains, and fruits and vegetables. You can lose weight eating fast food, junk food, if you're in a calorie deficit, but is that recommended? Of course not. Why do we count macros? Why is this so important? And why do I do this with my clients? Well, number one, all foods fit. Anything fits as long as you meet your macros. I tell my clients this with caution because again, you can meet your macro goals by, you know, not eating the best quality of foods. But this is a lot of the education that I give them is what foods are best to choose from the carb, fat, and protein groups. No foods or food groups are off limits. This helps us all to form a healthy relationship with food. As we know, so many fad diets eliminate foods and food groups. Keto, for example, anything low carb like Atkins. And I honestly do not know anyone that has been able to maintain their weight loss on a keto diet or a diet that eliminates foods and food groups because it's simply not sustainable. So when you count macros, all foods fit as long as you count it toward your macro goals for the day. And this is a quote by me: the means that it takes to lose the weight are the means that it will take to maintain the weight. However you got to your weight loss goal is what you're going to have to do to maintain your weight. So the short-term goal is weight loss, but our long-term goal is to maintain the weight. We don't want to just lose the weight only to gain it back. So you want to make sure that whatever plan you're on is one that you can follow for life. The big question is, how do I calculate my calorie and macro goals? And this is a completely different presentation. I have a membership on this where I teach people how to do it. I also work one-on-one with clients on how to calculate calories and macros, and I turn those numbers into meal plans. So if you are interested in learning, please send me an email. I'm not going to go into that today. Just keep in mind that if you are interested in counting macros, that you will need to use a food scale and a food tracking app. Weighing out your food and plugging it into a food tracking app such as MyFitnessPal that's the way that we know what you're eating, what you're getting in on a daily basis. It's going to count your calories and your macros for you. So I love teaching people how to do that. If you're interested, don't hesitate to send me an email. All right, here's the fun part. Let's talk about some nutrition myths. Okay. I'm sure so many of us have heard this one. You cannot eat past 7 p.m. And I remember back in the day when I used to believe this as well, but this is a myth. What we know is if you are in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. It does not matter what time of day you eat. If you eat a Greek yogurt bowl at 9:30 at night, like I do pretty much every night, and you're still in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. So it has nothing to do with meal timing. It's all about the calorie deficit. You're burning more calories than you're taking in. Second one, carbohydrates make you gain weight. You cannot eat bread, rice, pasta, fruit. I hear fruit all the time. It almost gives me a heart attack. If you want to lose weight, that is incorrect. Again, it is about the calorie deficit. Carbs do not make us gain weight. A calorie surplus makes us gain weight. So, as I mentioned before, carbs are our primary source of energy. We want to make sure that we have carbs every day. My clients have carbs with every meal, every snack, but it's in the proper serving size. We are not going to overdo it and eat an entire bread basket. We are going to have a serving. Your body can only absorb 25 grams of protein at one meal. This is kind of new to me. I've been hearing this one a lot. I don't know where people get this, but this is incorrect. On some meal plans, I usually recommend about 40 grams of protein per meal. For some clients, if they have higher protein needs, I'll go up to 50 or 60 grams of protein per meal. And yes, it absolutely will get absorbed. Supplements can save a poor diet. Incorrect. I have a lot of people who think that, they can eat fast food, junk food, but maybe they're taking collagen or their greens. Green supplements are really popular right now. And that's going to save them, and it will not. Nutrition and whole foods are number one, and that is what you really need to focus on. Supplements are there to kind of fill in the gaps. Maybe if I take collagen every morning, and that's fine. Maybe if you want to do a protein shake to help meet your protein needs, that's fine. But you should not rely on supplements to save a poor diet, because it's never going to happen. You can outwork a poor diet through exercise. Again, incorrect. How easy is it to make up the 200-300 calories that are burned from a workout? It's extremely easy. So exercise should be seen as something that we do because we love it. It makes us feel good. It's a stress reliever. We're building muscle. And once you start to view exercise in that way, instead of, well, I burned 300 calories, so now I can eat 300 calories more. First, that just kind of, in my mind, forms a really unhealthy relationship with calories and exercise. But once you start viewing it as just, this is something I enjoy doing, and you find something that you actually do enjoy doing, everything's going to fall into place. If you want to be successful with your fitness goals, exercise is a big part of that. So it's essential that you find something that you love to do and can be consistent with. Next, alcohol does not have any calories. Incorrect. Alcohol on its own has 7 calories per gram. So if you remember back to one of the previous slides, fat has 9 calories per gram. So alcohol having 7 calories per gram is almost as calorie dense as fat. So to translate, what this means is a 1.5 ounce shot of any liquor is approximately 100 calories. This is on its own without adding mixers. A 5 ounce glass of wine is 100 calories, and a 12 ounce beer is approximately 100 calories. So just keep in mind that alcohol has calories. This is before we're adding any sort of mixers or anything. I always tell my clients, alcohol and your fitness goal do not go hand in hand. As a health professional, if you can have 0 drinks per week, that is, preferred, but I understand this is life. So a couple drinks per week, if you choose to do so, but just keep in mind that alcohol and your fitness goal do not go hand in hand. And there are no benefits to drinking alcohol, no matter what some people might tell you. Lastly, intermittent fasting is an effective and maintainable way to lose weight. I do not like intermittent fasting. I'm very much against it. Intermittent fasting, for maybe someone who's not aware, intermittent fasting puts guidelines on the times that you can eat. So maybe you can only eat your meals between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. So you're fasting for 16 hours out of the day. People think they're losing weight on intermittent fasting because there's this magical time frame that they can eat from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. But that's not it. The fact is they're in a calorie deficit. So they're losing weight. And you can achieve a calorie deficit from eating every 3 to 4 hours throughout the day, beginning at 6 a.m. all the way until 9 p.m. at night. All you need is a proper nutrition plan. So the fact that they're fasting and only eating for 8 hours of the day helps them to stay in a calorie deficit, but it has nothing to do with those magical hours like they think. People that do intermittent fasting have told me that they have felt weak. They felt like they were going to pass out. They're chewing gum, sugar-free candies just to make it to that 11 a.m. time. I personally could never function without eating breakfast. So it's just not for me. I'm not one to say if it's working for you, that's fine, but I do not recommend it. So all it's doing is putting you in a calorie deficit. And as I mentioned, you can eat regularly and still lose weight. This is a slide I wanted to include because this is something that so many people have an issue with. Feeling hungry and tired in the afternoon. Well, it's probably because you did not eat enough earlier in the day. What we know is if we do not eat enough earlier in the day, we tend to overeat later in the day. So this means if we're not eating breakfast, if we're maybe skipping a mid-morning snack, when mid-afternoon and dinner roll around, we're going to be ravenous. We have not given our body enough calories, so we are way more likely to overeat. This is why breakfast is so important, mid-morning snack, and a good lunch as well. So avoid the office candy bowl if you get hungry mid-afternoon, and have a high protein snack instead. Examples are Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, beef jerky, deli turkey and cheese on an English muffin, or crackers. You can have tuna fish with crackers, egg whites, a protein bar, and even a protein shake. So this is an opportunity where we're not going to rely on shakes all day to meet our calorie and protein needs. But if a protein shake helps you to get your calories in as a snack, absolutely, just have a fruit with it. Maybe throw some peanut butter in there, so you're actually making it a shake that's going to fill you up. But protein is super important with every meal, every snack, because it's going to help to keep you full longer. So make sure you're eating enough in the beginning of the day. Is it possible to progress towards your fitness goal during the holiday season? Yes. I had several clients last year who continued to lose weight, and even more who maintain their weight. And that is a wonderful goal during the holidays, by the way, is weight maintenance. Get started on a plan now so that you're prepared for the holidays and avoid unwanted weight gain. Avoid the I'll wait to start until January mentality, because all that does is it causes come January, you're 10 or 15 pounds heavier and then coming to me for help. There's really no need for that if you start now. I always tell people the time period from Halloween through New Year's Day should not be a free-for-all, but many people do treat it as that way with food and drinks. I understand there are lots of social events and things like that, but with proper planning, you can enjoy those events, but still stick to your plan during the week. So really just avoid having the entire holiday season as a free-for-all. My best advice, I always tell people, enjoy the day. Enjoy Thanksgiving Day. The day after Thanksgiving or the weekend after, let's get back on your plan. And the good thing about Thanksgiving is turkey is a protein source. Okay, you can enjoy leftover turkey. You can enjoy the sides that, maybe aren't covered in cheese and all of the sauces. Of course, on Thanksgiving Day, enjoy whatever you want. It's a holiday, enjoy it with your family and friends. But the point is, you're always getting back on track with your meal plan and with your exercise. Same for Christmas, New Year's, and any other holiday that you spend with your family and friends. Enjoy the holiday, but just get back on track. The key to lifelong health and fitness is always learning how to return to your plan after an off-plan meal, event, or holiday. I have clients who, maybe they'll have pizza over the weekend and they tell me, oh, I overdid it. I overindulged on pizza last night. I ruined the weekend. I just feel like I'm done with the meal plan. And I tell them, you're not. We all have off-plan meals, which some people call them cheat meals. I call them off-plan. The point is, get back on the meal plan. If you give up every time you have an off-plan meal, you're never going to truly accomplish anything. So in my opinion, that is the key to lifelong health and fitness. Always learn how to bounce back. Consistency is key. It's what we do most of the time, not all the time. Some people say that 80% rule. 80% of the time we're following our meal plan and our exercise. 20% of the time we're enjoying life. And that is life. We have to have a plan that we can follow for life. So what is your goal for the holiday season? And do you have a plan to get there? Let me know what questions you have.
Danielle, I have a question.
Yes.
In regards to water, obviously you're supposed to drink lots and lots of water. If you put in flavoring in your water, is that taking away from you drinking water?
No, absolutely not. That is
Okay.
a great way to get in enough water, is to flavor it. So if that's going to help you to drink water, ideally we say half of your body weight in ounces per day. So let's say an individual weighs 150 pounds. He or she would want to try to get a minimum of 75 ounces per day. And yes, if the flavoring helps, go ahead and add it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Did you
Any
see
other
that question,
questions?
Danielle?
Yes.
Did you see that question that just popped up in
Oh,
the
let
chat?
me see this one. Can you discuss gluten-free? Ah, okay, that's a great question. So gluten-free, there are people who have the need for a gluten-free diet. They are allergic. So for those individuals, absolutely, the gluten-free diet is necessary. There are other individuals who follow a gluten-free diet because they say that maybe it makes them feel better. But gluten is found in mostly the food products that contain carbohydrates. So our breads, cereals, and things like that. So when they avoid gluten, they lose weight. And so this is just another way of eliminating a food or a food group in an effort to lose weight. And all it's doing is putting them again in a calorie deficit. So yes, for some people it is due to allergies and it is warranted, but there are other people who are simply doing it to follow a low carb diet. It's completely unnecessary. If you can digest and tolerate gluten, which the majority of people can, then there are no issues with eating foods that contain gluten. I eat bread. People think bread is the enemy. And when they get a meal plan from me, they'll say, oh my gosh, bread is on here. I can have bread again. I eat bread several times per day. It's not about the bread. It's about the calorie goal. So that's it.
All right.
And
So I always,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Kyle.
So I always hear, eat 2,000 calories a day. Average serving is 2,000 calories a day. And I sit here and tell people I can eat 2,000 calories and gain weight.
Okay.
Is that common for, I mean, I run, is it common to have somebody that I have to go into starvation mode in order to lose weight
Are
or
you
even
tracking?
maintain? I've tracked in the past, and that's where I get like my little sweet spot is about 1,800 calories just to maintain.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, go ahead.
Based on what I would just estimate as 18 calories seems too low. But again, I would have to do an assessment. So it takes in your age, height, weight, and your activity level. So there are a lot of different factors. But I would tell you, I would calculate your calorie goal and say, okay, you need to track, weigh what you're eating and be consistent with this so we can see if it's working. And of course, give it time. Some people try calorie or macro plan for a week or two and say, oh, this isn't working. You have to give it at least 3 to 4 weeks at the same calorie goal with consistency to really tell if it's working. Let's see. Recommended restaurants for clients, breadsticks at Olive Garden. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh gosh, the blooming onions. I've heard those are like so many. I don't even remember. But of course, if you are sharing something with a group of people, and here's the thing about restaurants. So I tell my clients, you may have 1 or 2 off-plan meals per week. I don't like cheat. It's not about cheating with food. It's just off-plan. So this means that yes, you can go to a restaurant and enjoy sushi, Mexican food, pizza, whatever it might be. The point is you get back on track with the meal plan. If you do want to stick to a calorie or macro goal, excuse me, while dining out, then you would just look at the nutrition information before you go. Restaurants that make this easy are Chipotle, where you're kind of like, you can make a bowl and, put in the chicken, the vegetables, rice or beans, and you can stick to your calorie and macro goal by planning ahead, of course, in that way. Olive Garden is pretty hard. Most, a steakhouse is doable if you can order, like, let's say a 6-ounce steak, half of a potato with, a side of vegetables. But again, you're tempted with the bread. Keep in mind, restaurants also tend to put a lot more fat when they're cooking than we do at home. So they'll use more butter and oil. So your best bet is to cook at home, but it is possible to stick to a meal plan when you're dining out. It really just depends. And if you can't stick to the meal plan, it's an off-plan meal. It's that simple. Enjoy it.
All right, so my running app said that Sunday, I burned 2,700 calories. Okay, running a half marathon.
Okay.
But I've heard that a lot of these apps are inaccurate with the calories
Mhm.
because technically I didn't really burn the whole 2,700 of total well, that's different types of calories that are thrown in this app. What is that all about?
It's not accurate. Do not track the calories burned from exercise. Excuse me. Don't look at it. Ignore it because they are inaccurate. Even if you're using like an Apple Watch and it's got your heart rate, it's inaccurate. And again, I think that it becomes problematic for people because they'll think, oh, I burned 400 calories. That's 400 calories I can add back into my day. But if you're working with me or if you calculated calories on your own, I factor in your workouts already. So if you tell me you work out 4 days a week, I factor that into your calorie goal. So then if you're adding in the calories burned from exercise, you're counting it twice. I had this happen with a couple of clients 2 weeks ago. So long story short, they were overeating because their exercise calories were being counted twice. It looked like they were doing 2 a days. They were not. So just ignore it. Find something you love to do. Stick to it. Starting out 3 days per week. If you can exercise 5 days per week, that is amazing. Just find something you love to do and be consistent with it. That's all you have to do with exercise. If you're trying to build muscle, I'm going to tell you, okay, let's get our steps in, let's lift heavy weight. But if you just want to be healthy, maintain a healthy weight, just get the exercise in. Do what you love.
I have 2 questions, Danielle.
Sure.
The first one is, when it comes to bread and eating different carbs and stuff like that, is there certain types of bread that you would avoid over others? Like as far as wheat versus white, or?
Of course, I'm going to recommend whole wheat. So I like 100% whole wheat bread. The first ingredient is whole wheat. If you see enriched, then we know it's not whole wheat. But again, it's okay, whatever you like. Because when you're counting macros, you can eat anything as long as you hit your macro goals. But for reasons of fiber, we want to try to get 25 to 35 grams of fiber per day. I would choose whole wheat. I really like Dave's Killer Bread. Their bagels are some of the lower carb bagels that I've found, and they also have 13 grams of protein per bagel, which is really good. English muffins are also a great option because those can have 6 to 8 grams of protein per muffin. And then if you do whole wheat, you're going to get some good fiber as well. But, again, it's all about what you like. I, of course, will recommend whole wheat, but tortillas are fine. I love corn tortillas. I love the butter tortillas from H-E-B. I fit those into my plan as well. So again, there's just a lot of flexibility when you're counting macros. So we want to eat certain things more often than others, but everything's allowed.
Thank you. My second question is, if you are exercising and you're trying to be in a calorie deficit or, burn more calories than you're intaking, and you're also trying to maintain muscle or gain muscle, would you recommend cardio first or weightlifting first?
Both.
Which one? But if you're doing both in the same time, does it matter which one you do first?
Oh, no. No, that doesn't matter. But I always recommend, so ideally getting your steps in. If you have a way to track your steps, that's number one. Let's hit a minimum of 8,000 steps per day. If you're doing that, and then you're, okay, I'm ready to add in some cardio. Let me do maybe 30 minutes of jogging or elliptical or stair climbing for 3 days a week. That's awesome as well. But weightlifting is so beneficial, especially as we age. As we age, people become less active, and it is the complete opposite of what we need to do. Because when we're younger and, we're chasing after young kids, we're super active. But as the kids get older, we become less active. So you need to make up for that with exercise. And what we know is if you have the more muscle mass that you have as you age, you're going to age a lot better. So lifting weight is going to help tremendously with that. So if you're not comfortable, get a trainer for just a few sessions. get comfortable around the gym and learn how to lift weight to get a total body workout.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Which is best, apple pie, pumpkin pie, or pecan pie? You know, if it's Thanksgiving, again, eat whatever you want. Enjoy the day. My favorite's pecan pie, but eat what you like. But if you are serious about your weight loss goal, you are, you know, you're going to enjoy it on Thanksgiving, but the day after, we're going to get back on track. And, you know, you're probably going to choose fruit instead of pie. So enjoy your day, though. I don't want, you know, I would never tell someone to not enjoy a holiday, even if they were losing weight. It's completely unnecessary. So enjoy it. Any other questions?
Hey, Danielle, can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful. While we're waiting to see if anyone else has a question they're still trying to formulate, I'm wondering, do you have like the emergency hotline phone number that people can call in if they need hand holding through the holiday event?
I mean, send me an email. I'm very responsive to my email. But yeah, I mean, I know it's difficult, but planning is everything. You know, get out a calendar, write out your events, write out the work parties, the events with family and friends. And those are the days or the events that, you know, okay, I'm going to enjoy myself. So if something comes up random on Tuesday night, maybe I'm going to decline. Maybe I will make healthier choices at the restaurant. It's all about planning. If you can plan, you can reach your fitness goal. That's what I always tell people.
Well, as planners here in this office for financial goals, we agree with that
Awesome.
that thought.
Danielle, before we sign off, would you mind going back to your slide with all your information?
Okay.
Just so, yeah, that way if anyone
Yeah,
wants
I
to
added
drop-
my
Yeah, perfect.
Instagram on there, Danielle_the_dietitian. I do a lot of videos on how to meet your protein every day. Why is it important to meet your protein? How to get started with counting macros. You know, I'll talk,
Yes.
I do more on the nutrition myths and all that. So give me a follow if this is information that you're interested in.
Yes, I highly recommend everybody follow Danielle. Like she's awesome at all of her videos. And I know you have TikTok too. So if there are people out there who do TikTok, you know, she does the videos on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
So
I've definitely been more active on Instagram because Instagram actually shows my videos to my followers. So
Yeah.
that's the best place to follow me.
yeah. So
Thank you for that.
yes.
Wonderful. If there are no other questions out there, we will wrap things up. It's wonderful to know how to follow Danielle going forward and be able to contact her for any individual questions. You know, we certainly appreciate your candor today as we walk through some important and sometimes funny topics.
Yes. Yeah.
I do want to, you know, for our regular participants of the Tuesday Talks, I just want to remind folks that this will be coming up once again in December. We have Michael Rakowski, a lawyer that will be speaking to us on estate planning, you know, trends. We will have election results by then, so you know that may change the opportunities for different, you know, changes coming through in the laws. But also, since we've had inflation adjustments, Social Security, that also adjusts other factors that land in the estate planning field, and we'll be reviewing those and open to your questions. So unless anyone else pops up at the last minute, just want to thank you all for joining us and have a wonderful holiday, and we look forward to seeing you next week or next month. Sorry.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, Danielle.
much.
Bye.
Bye.